Overdraft programs sound harmless at first, but the truth is, they're one of the most problematic features of modern banking. And today, I'm going to explain why. Most people don't realize just how much these programs are costing them, both financially and emotionally. Stick with me until the end, and I'll not only show you why they're bad for your wallet, but also reveal what banks don't want you to know about how these programs work. First off, let's talk about the fees. Overdraft fees can be as high as $35 per transaction. And here's the kicker. You can be hit with these fees for transactions that are just a few cents over your balance. So, let's say you've got $110 in your account, and you buy something for $150. Even though it's only a small shortfall, the bank will charge you $35. Sounds pretty extreme, right? And guess what? This is happening to millions of people every day. In fact, Americans collectively pay billions in overdraft fees each year. But here's the issue. Overdraft programs don't solve the problem of not having enough money. They simply extend credit to cover the gap, often without you even knowing how much you'll owe. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a financial wound. Temporary relief, but no real solution. In my experience working with personal finance, I've seen firsthand how people fall into a cycle of using overdraft protection over and over again, without realizing just how deep in debt they're getting. Now, let's talk about how banks actually make money from overdraft programs. This is a big one. Banks know that people often don't check their balances frequently enough. They're counting on you not noticing the fees stacking up until it's too late. The worst part is, a lot of these fees are sneaky. They're not always disclosed clearly, and some banks will even allow transactions to go through that will trigger overdraft fees, transactions that you could have avoided if they had simply declined them instead. Another huge problem is the emotional toll it takes. You're already stressed about your finances, and now you've got this looming $35 fee hanging over you every time you make a mistake. It can feel like a never-ending cycle. That stress impacts people's mental health. It affects their decision-making, causing them to become more reactive with their money rather than proactive. But here's where things get really important. The banks are betting on you not being able to break free from this cycle. And here's what they don't want you to know. If you start keeping an eye on your balance and opting out of overdraft protection, you can actually avoid these fees altogether. Sure, it takes a little more discipline, but you'll be far better off in the long run, mentally and financially. If you need extra help, there are even accounts out there that don't charge overdraft fees, and some banks are even starting to ditch them altogether. I've worked in personal finance long enough to tell you that there are always better alternatives to overdraft programs. You don't need to keep putting yourself in a financial hole to make it through the month. For example, setting up alerts for low balances can be a simple fix. There are also budgeting apps that can help you stay on track without ever having to worry about overdraft fees. The point is, you have more control than you think. So, if you've ever wondered whether overdraft programs are really worth it, now you know the truth. They're often a trap. They might seem like a safety net, but they come with high costs, both financially and emotionally. Before you sign up for overdraft protection again, think about whether the convenience is really worth the price. You've got better options out there, and it's time to take control of your money. If this video helped clear things up and gave you a new perspective on overdraft programs, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. I've got tons of insights that can help you manage your money smarter, not harder.